Yo, what up? Can y'all hear me? What's up? Let me know if y'all can hear me. If y'all can hear me, put something in chat. Put something in the chat. Let me know you can hear me. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Y'all can hear me, put something in the chat. Put something in the chat. Let me know you can hear me. Tell the kids I say hi. Easy, Laffy, Stormy, Cece. Can I give you a free pundit account? That's not how you work, brother. How about me teaching you something so you can pass the funded account? Sounds more like it, right? Can I give you a free funded account? Something so you can pass up on the laptop. Good morning, bro. So today I will be, giving you guys uh my fib level settings. So you'll be able to use the fib, how I use the fib, and give you a guide as to how I use the fib, what I look for. And I just want to get it set this, straight that fib levels are not don't work standalone. Like they're just confluence. I don't just use fib levels um randomly. They're all confluence with support and resistance or trend line or yeah. So I'm gonna get my Fibonacci and put it on the screen and give the different fib levels and see you can see the different levels for it. So I'm gonna put it right here. If you want to put in these numbers, take a screenshot, take a picture, keep it here for like a minute before we get into it. So I'm gonna put it right here. You're gonna put in these numbers, take a screenshot, take a picture, keep it here for like a minute before we get into it. So put those levels in, then let's get into it. All right, that's it for now. So I keep it a little longer, keep it a little longer. So people say they want to see longer. So look at the levels. Uh, I really mostly focus on my 0.618 and my zero point 0.5 fib. And I also use the extension levels, the negative 0.27. I also use those a lot. Uh, so, so yeah, just give you another minute, another minute. All right, we're getting. So first, before we started, we got to figure out what are swing levels and what are Fibonacci levels. So Fibonacci level is just a percentage that trader use to identify potential support, resistance, pullback, and profit target based on a price swing. So it's just a percentage as to where price will probably come back to make another move or where price will go to and finish that move. Uh, Obviously, you have the 0.23 level, which is very shallow pullback. That is uh, a really shallow pullback in a strong uptrend. So if recently you probably have seen NAS 100 moving like crazy. For the past month, we did not get more than a 0.2 36 pullback. 0.6 and 0.38 it's moderate pullback. It's nothing crazy, just a little bit more. Um, the 0.50 is not technically a Fibonacci ratio, but widely used by traders. So it's not technically a ratio, but a lot of traders use it. And it fall into the golden zone along with 0.618 level. So that's where most traders use. Um, That's what just have been happening over a period of time, and traders continue to use it. So that is that. But yeah, I'm gonna show you how I use it on the charts and how this thing happen on a day-to-day basis. I just want to say no levels I'm going to right now. It's a level I have used before. It's just me picking out random levels, showing you that this is what happened and this is how the chart move. I'm not gonna just go on levels that I know exactly that pull back perfectly. I'm just doing it blindly and show you the power of the Fibonacci. So yeah, I'm just gonna go down and pick random spots as I go along. Go down, pick random spots. Uh, I like to use my fib on the 4 hour or higher. The 1 hour sometimes too. Um, so let's go down here. The last swing low. So price was in an uptrend. So price came down, push up. So we moved from the 36,680 level to the 40,925 level. So price made a push up and came back down. So I want to show you this. So we had a weekly monthly supply and demand zone right here at 38,460. But what did price do? Price did not reject directly at the fib level. It went up, came back down. See, it didn't reject the 0.5 fib level. It came down to the weekly support and monthly support before moving back up. Normally, a move like this would finish at the extension level, which is negative 0.27. We did not get that happen, but regardless, if you caught this trade right down here, that would have easily been a 2000 pips move. So You don't have to finish up there every time, and that's fine. Once you get in a trade here and you start taking profit along the way, you're more than happy, you know what I mean, to ride it out a little bit. And I want to say this, whenever I'm trading fib levels and there's a supply and demand zone closely, I don't care. Even if say right here was the 0.618, I would still expect price to come down beyond those and come to the weekly support because that is way more of a stronger level. The support is more than the weekly supply and demand zone is a stronger level than just the fib. But that work in a confluence that, oh, all right, my supply and demand zone is really close. It's also close to my 0.618 fib. And well, it's basically in my golden zone. So I'm looking to buy, you mean, whenever I come to there. So that was just one example. Uh, just gonna search randomly on the charts, find another level right here again. So price, as you see, price is coming up, price is making higher high, lower high, higher high, lower high, higher high, higher high, lower high. So with that, all we have to do is right here. You mean once I see we get a push off from my fib level, draw my fib from push off from my weekly level, I'm drawing my fib. And what do we do? So we went up, we went up and we came back down and reject that 0.5 level like literally right to the T. So that was perfect. We hit that the 0.5 level right to the T and we made a higher high. We made a higher high. So even if I was trading this and I say, all right, draw my level back from here to up here, what happened again? Let me remove it so it don't get too confusing. So draw my level from the other fib right down here where the fib hit to where it hit up here at this supply and demand zone. It came back exactly again. It came back exactly again to the zero point 0.5 level. I personally wouldn't take it at the zero point 0.5 level because my weekly supply and demand zone is right here. So I'm waiting for it to break back above to get in. So after price came down here on the wick out, I would have waited for a touch in here to get back. And that's what exactly it did. And I would just that after that with that fib level, it went right up to the 0.27 to take profit. So you got in from right here. As I say, I'm getting above my weekly supply and demand zone. I'm not getting up exactly at the fib. So I get in around here. I'm still following the fib, but even though I didn't take the trade from the fib, I'm still following the fib. I would have taken profit about here. And then I would have looked to sell again back down to into this level because if you watch my previous videos, you see I talk about my weekly and supply demand zone. Those are the most important. So yeah. So our price was basically following different fibs. Uh, here again where we have from the push off here to up here. So price went back up to that weekly and supply demand zone and came back down uh, into that golden zone. It don't have to be pinpoint accuracy. Um, Most of the time it's not pinpoint accuracy, but it's close. Again, I'm not taking a trade here. Personally, for me, I'm not taking a trade here. I'm only taking a trade after I get a break above my weekly supply and demand zone. So C4 oil here, 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 here. I'm getting after I get a break above, like a solid break above over here and pull back into here. And I would put my stop loss, you know what I mean, a lot beyond the last low. So I'm not putting it too far, about 80 pips, and I'm getting in. But that just show you how the power of the fib level. Um, and price after price took off from that closer to the 0.618, we went all the way almost to the negative 0.27. Didn't go all the way there though. It came to the weekly supply and demand zone. And this is on the higher time frame. These things happen on the lower time frame every day too. For example, um, right here, it's a small push. It's a small push, but that's fine. It pushed up, made a higher high, then came back down, make a higher low, make a lower high, and then went back up. So this thing happened all over every day. So these are just a confluence of certain trades. I'm super confident the more confidence I have. So here we have price in a downtrend. So all I'm drawing in my fib from the last lower high to last higher low. And then what did price do? Price came back, like did that, came back into the 0.618 fib and went all the way down. So price went down hard. Price didn't just reject the negative 0.27 or the negative 0.618. Price just went straight down. Even though these levels are just take profit levels, you can use them to take profit. Uh, I don't use those levels really to take profit, even though it's a good indication of, oh, price may come to this level. I take profit on my weekly and supply demand zone. So that's where I take profit. But these things happen every day on the charts, every single day. Uh, on whatever time frame you choose, higher time frame, lower time frame, weekly, monthly, don't matter. Happen every time. Just for another example right here. Price push up from the 41,765 level, came all the way up here. Well, right here first. And what it did, well, it didn't touch it, but literally pretty much right there at that zero point 0.5 level. Uh, I went higher, went super higher. So just random spot on the charts is gonna be there. That's just what happened. As I say, it don't have to be just crazy run. It could be just a smaller run like right here, where price push up, came back down, and reject the 0.618 left right here. And came and after they reject that 0.618 level right here, see where it went straight up to that negative zero point 0.2 level and rejected and came back down. So that 0.27 level fall right into that weekly supply and demand zone area. So that would have been a perfect trade to carry all the way up into this level. You know what I mean? Probably get out a little bit early, 20 pips early, 30 pips early, that's totally fine. But whenever the fib match up with confluence with my weekly supply demand zone or my monthly supply and demand zone or my fib, my trend line, it's game over. It's like more confluence meaning more confidence. So you're more confident to really the company in your trade and hold your trade. So yeah. For instance, here we had this daily candle out that pushed up a lot. And what did it price did? Price pushed up and came back down and rejected in that golden zone. It came a little bit lower, but that's fine. Because I said we only waiting for our price to come back above using the weekly supply and demand zone. So as soon as price came back over into this level, um, into this 49070 level we're in. And if we took that trade up to where we sell off from, that would have been almost 1,000 pips. So that would have been a solid trade. But if y'all have any questions, I'm doing good, brother. How are you? If y'all have any questions, let me know. Uh, I'm still here. We still remember also we're still live trading, so we're looking for potential sell right here. As we know, war in the Middle East have been up and running again, kind of crazy. I'm not looking for NAS 100 to come down. I'm looking for a US 30 to fall, but not NAS 100. I'm not sure what's going on with NAS, but since the war, remember the war started back a few months ago. Since then, price have moved almost, I think like 18%. It's like pretty much a one-way streak straight up. Normally don't happen because normally time a war, then I mean it's risk on, risk off. So we tend to see the stock market sell off, gold go up higher, US dollar go up higher, the yen go higher, the Swiss franc go higher, silver go higher. Um, because investors like to put their money in assets. Um, but we're seeing something totally different. The yield go higher. Because they're less volatile and they're more steady throughout the war. But I'm not sure, I mean, the manipulation behind NAS 100 making higher highs during war. NAS 100s and US 30 is not reacting the same way though. We tend to see a sell-off whenever there is, since recently, which match up to history. Normally, they all sell off during this time, but we tend to see more selling pressure with on US 30 since recently. So I'm not really focusing on NAS 100 right now. I think there's a lot of manipulation going on. So I'm mostly focusing on US 30 right now. So I would want to see a breakout of this level. See where price, let me go on that chart. Where price been trading in this nice uptrend right here. Price reject the lower trend line. Uh, right here and pushed off a little bit. I would want to see right now what I'm waiting for on the 4 hour time frame. Look, I just want to say I drew this trend line from like last week and price came exactly right here and push off like crazy. And I want to say these things happen every day. If you know what you're doing and you know you're looking for, you see these things happen every day. So yeah. I mean, we could use a fib and say price may come back into this daily supply and demand zone. So who knows? Let's see. I'm not looking for that right now. I'm looking for the breakout on a 4 hour time frame. Break under, close, come back and retest that 52,265 level and continue lower. I'm looking for price to come back into that 51,350 level. If for some reason price come all the way up here, I'm looking for a sell into the 52,680 levels. I'm looking for a sell in this level to come down. So those are the different possibilities I'm looking at right now. Or you mean the fib could have been here, where price have been rejecting that level, but let's see. I want to break out. I'm just waiting for the breakout. That's all I'm waiting for. But if y'all have any question pertaining to anything, just let me know. Anything, could be anything. And I want to say for all the traders, TX3 have a few discounts running right now. So if you trade futures or you trade if you trade futures or you trade anything, our CDF, TX3 is the place to be right now. Yeah, so they have plus there is a lot of giveaway going on in there. So you can go in there and you know what I mean World Cup predictions and win accounts. So a lot of people winning accounts. It's crazy because obviously if you don't have the money to buy one, you can predict a World Cup match. For example, France is playing Morocco today at 3 p.m. You can go right now and do a prediction. Um, if your prediction comes, you get an account. I mean, how cool is that? Like, who wouldn't want a free account? You know what I mean? So, and I say they have discounts code running right now for on the FX side of things. It's 30% off Freedom 30. So 30% off, that's, I mean, it's a lot of money. If you buy, even a 10K account, you're saving 30% off. So that's a good day. For the people who trade futures, they have pretty much the best drawdown limit, and there's no payout limit on futures like other prop firms. So take that into consideration. There's no cap on what you can make or what you can gain. So keep that in mind. Yeah, let me see what about the discount code for the futures right now. So it's 30% off with code redline 30. So go get yours before that is over. It's the highest drawdown in the industry. Like uh it's the highest. So the highest payout cap in the industry. Well, they don't have any payout cap. Highest contract allowance in the industry. They pay off, you know, what I mean, 4 years, a lot of millions, 35 million, paid to 8,000 plus traders. So go there and get your 30% off for the few people who trade futures and the people who trade FX. Uh, you can get another you can get 30% off too with Freedom 30. So yeah, you can buy, you mean I normally only buy two type of challenge. I normally buy the two-phase flex or the two-phase pro. Those are my challenge. I mostly buy the pro to be honest. Uh, so for instance, you know, I mean I'm funded with like 400K with TX3 right now. The challenge I'm doing right now with them is a flex challenge. So give me a variety. I already funded 400K with them on the pro. Might as well do the flex and have two different types of account. One where more steady and slower, one where more faster. So I'm not just going fast. I'm securing smaller payouts, smaller wins and smaller payouts as we go along. And everything is straightforward. The Discord is huge. It's 50,000 plus people. Um, for the people who want to collab, you can collab too. Um, Support is awesome. Public chat going on right now. Yeah, so let's go. So we back to trade. Let's see. I mean, price is struggling to break under this daily supply and demand zone. I said this is a nice level. This is a level I've been hit a lot of times. Uh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. About probably about 25 times. So it's a really strong level. This level will probably hold for a little bit. Obviously, we're in an uptrend, but with everything is going on, uh, we should get a break under. We probably should break under and then come back and reach at the same level. So yeah. Well, I mean, let me know if there's anything about the field that you all want to learn or you're struggling with. Let me know. So obviously, you mean, um, that's a good question, by the way. Most of my trades are sell recently is because of the war. You mean, I think a lot of things, a lot of movements we have in the market is investors, what I say, as let's draw back a little bit. I saw where Chase CEO Darwin said the other day that investors are losing their mind, meaning there's a lot of hype around, you know, me, the US and the economy and everything, but investors are losing their mind. I think there's a lot of manipulation going on. Uh, for the first time, we're seeing in history where a war is going on, our world price is moving so high, and gas and oil price moves so high, and yesterday we see so much buying pressure on the NAS 100 and US 30 or the stock market in general. Normally things like that don't happen. So I think there's a lot of manipulation going on there. For you know what I mean, so that's why I've been recently selling mostly. Uh, it's crazy because I've for the last 3 months, even though I've been selling and the market I've been buying out, we only lost like 3 trades or 4 trades. For the people in my Discord, you know yourself, you mean you see how I trade. But I think there's more selling pressure coming into the second half of the year. Uh, we just can't sustain, you mean, buying off hype anymore. I think the market will set in and be like, oh, interest rate. First of all, interest rate might, you mean, investors are predicting another rate hike by the end of the year. The Feds don't see no rate cut this year, none at all, until probably 20, end of late 2027, which is not good because obviously before the war, oil prices were coming down. Inflation was relatively low, like 2.8. You mean their goal is 2%. But since then, CPI data have shown and PCE data have shown that inflation is almost up to 4.3. Uh, Obviously because of the oil prices. Uh, Relative because of oil prices. It's kind of hard to come back down. You know what I mean? It's easy to go up, harder to come back down. So so that's one thing I see. Another rate hike coming this year. the panel on the panel for the Feds think that that's gonna happen. I think it's like a 12 to 1 that there's gonna be another rate hike this year. The war that's going on. Oil prices, if this war continues, the Strait of Hormuz keep continuing getting black, it's gonna be super high. Uh oil price is gonna stay higher for longer. So uh that's another thing. That's two different things why I think we should be selling off. Three, AI is gonna change everything. AI have literally started to change everything. AI is the biggest thing since human intervention. You know what I mean? Like the biggest technological advance and move. AI is way bigger than the internet. Well, that's what most investors predicting. So yes, this is gonna be, it's gonna change a lot. But as we know it, if a company is not making money, it's not valuable. Um, a lot of these AI company outside of Alphabet, which is Google, have not really start making money as yet. So that's another thing where I think we're a little bit oversold and overbuying for right now with AI because AI not making that money, much amount of money. So I think investors are trading off hype a lot right now. Yes, I say there's a lot of hype in the economy, but we got to come back down to earth and be practical because that's what trading is about, being practical and all that stuff. For example, we have SpaceX that launched like a month ago, almost something like that. Not exactly sure. Went up almost 40-50%. Now it's back down. Last time I saw was last night. It's back down to where it debuted. Um, because it was crazy that that thing went to $2+ trillion evaluation. Remember, SpaceX have not made more than $18 billion. So it's like for a company there were 2 point plus trillion, I only made $18 billion. That's crazy to me. But as I said, there's a lot of hype around the economy. That's what is keeping this economy going so strong. There's a lot of hype. If it weren't for all the hype, we would have slowed down a little bit. Uh, so yeah, we would have seen more selling pressure, put it that way. Not slow down because obviously there's a lot of good things going on. But this week, this month we're gonna really be big. We have bank earnings coming out, Tesla earnings coming out. We have the Feds talking, I think between the 8th and the 9th, so yesterday and today. Yeah, at a forum. We have a few other stuff going on right now. Yeah, bank earnings gonna be big too. So keep an eye out for that. I don't remember the exact date, but pretty soon. I will keep y'all posted in my Discord. Uh And you said the 600 point move we caught this week. You know it's crazy? I on my challenge I caught all of that 600 points. So that trade alone passed my first phase on two different platform. Um on my funded account, I took all of that 600 points because when I typed in say we close all trades now. Um, for the first 100 pips, I took like 20% along the way. So I got a really got some nice profits off those trades. Uh, as I say, it all depends. For if I'm doing a challenge, sometimes I'm more aggressive. I will just put my stop loss to break even or put myself in a little bit profit and make that thing run till I pass it. Or it all depends. If you come to a strong weekly supply and demand zone, I'm gonna get out there, and if we break under and close again, then I get back in. Uh, but yeah. Somebody say, what do you think of volume footprint and order flow? Is it really necessary? Sorry for the question. I really like your strategy and see that is very accurate. Thank you. Honestly, I don't like. I haven't traded anything other than you mean supply and demand zone, fibs, break and retest. fundamentals, and trend lines. Other things can work, obviously. I mean, people, other things work for other people. Uh, Something I've been working for me. I don't really try to change it. As I say, I'm $796,000 profit now. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be more soon. Got some payers coming, but that's just what it is for now. And I haven't changed it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to change something that's putting food on the table. Once I'm locked in, I'm locked in. I'm not changing. I'm not thinking about something else. Oh, can I try something else? No. I'm locked in. Tunnel vision. Don't fix what is not broken. That's just what it is. Don't fix what is not broken, for sure. How is your funded account going? I know you got some nice trades recently. How much did you get from that 600 points? How much pips did you take? Yeah, but we're struggling down here. I mean, there's a lot of buyers in the market right here. There's a lot of sellers keep pushing up right now. And we tend to see this in strong levels. For example, here we got a lot of push up back and forth before we got a break above. So we got a break above, went higher, came back down. We haven't closed underneath here, not once yet on the 4 hour. Remember, the 4 hour is where that. So we came down, didn't close. We came down, didn't close. We wake out a lot, didn't close, didn't close, didn't close, didn't close. So let's see. I think we should get a close underneath the. You mean we should get a nice drop and then come back and retest. And then that will after a breakout and retest, there's gonna be more volume in the market to the downside because obviously it's. I mean, people seeing what I'm seeing and be like, all right, we break out, we're going down. We still should get a nice sell off. So stay tuned for that. And that's making a little bit rejection, 100 plus pips. That's just so hard to predict right now. Uh, Especially like war is going on. I don't know what he's going to do. Like, like just because of the war, Nas will do this. Come down, break back above, come back and continue higher. And then reality set in, all right, I mean everything is good now, back to normal. And AI is not making no money. And we see fall back off. So the bank earning report gonna put, you know, we're gonna see a lot of movements on NAS 100 too. And for that, because we have all the big banks, you know what I mean, with earning calls. I remember if y'all wanna ask any question or want anything, just let me know. Uh, But yeah, remember, we're talking about fibs today. So if you all have any question pertaining to how I use my fib levels, just let me know. Let me know what you want to know about the fib. Man, Portugal performance, I like that thing had me sick for the whole week. Ah, it's all good though. I personally would, you mean, I personally would be sick to my stomach because obviously the greatest soccer player of all time didn't win a World Cup. But then again, we can't forget what this guy have done. You know what I mean? The beautiful night at the Santiago Bernabéu. I'm not gonna speak about another team or you know what I mean, obviously the Juventus, Old Trafford. But what I'm talking about, you know what I mean, Ronaldo at Real Madrid because Real Madrid is my team. We had so much beautiful nights, so much beautiful Champion League night, La Liga night, FIFA Club World Cup nights. Even with Portugal, you know what I mean, there's a lot of the Nation League. Um, so it's still the best career play I've ever had. You know what I mean, regardless of World Cup. Guys closing in on 1,000 goals, most in history. But Portugal did not perform at the World Cup. Honestly, like Bruno didn't do anything. Vitinha didn't do anything. The difference looked so bad. Pedro Neto did not do nothing. Like, uh, Rafael Leal, you know what I mean, obviously played way better off the bench. Ronaldo did not do anything in the E, to be honest. I think Ronaldo have to make more runs behind. I think they played too slow. The build-up was way too slow. It was slow, 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 slow. I was like, come on, man. Like I could teach my kids to run back and defend this. Like build-up was way too slow. No fast movements, nothing. Yeah, it was a sad World Cup. And then Argentina won against Egypt. Obviously, you know what I mean, they stole that. That was horrible. That goal that they took away. Remember, he fouled him almost 19 seconds. I wouldn't even say it's a clear and obvious foul. You know what I mean? It's just two of them feet got together. He stepped on his toe a little bit. He stepped on his toenail. It's not a clear and obvious area. So I think VAR shouldn't have never got in. It was literally at the corner flag at in Egypt half, and they went over and scored. It was like 19 seconds and still ruled by that call by that that's for which I think don't make any sense. Argentina scored like that in their first game of the World Cup when Messi fall. I don't remember the player name, and they scored. But what can you do? Yeah, I mean, as long as Argentina don't win this World Cup, I'm good. They will not win it though. I mean, obviously, France is gonna win this World Cup. Mbappe, Olise, and Dembele is too good. Yeah, you know what I mean, I think Gonzalo should have played more, honestly. Even when they win, even before they went 1-0 behind, I think Ronaldo should have come out. Ronaldo not pressing. Like we need more runs. We need more ball over the top. We need more runs. Literally, Spain at the back was playing 1v1. Kobasi against Ronaldo. You know what I mean? They're not afraid of Ronaldo making runs behind because Ronaldo not running behind. So they could have played 1v1 at the back. In Ronaldo prime, that would could have never happened. You know what I mean? Obviously, he wouldn't stand a chance. But they got so comfortable. It's sad to see. I feel for Ronaldo, but he'll be all right. You know what I mean? He flew home in a private jet, like just he'll be all right. In a big private jet, matter of fact. It's not a little one, so he all right. And he didn't rent it, he owned it. You know what I mean? So Yeah, he'll be all right. What he gonna do? Cry that he didn't win the World Cup, but he won everything else. So I feel it for him too, but he'll be all right. France playing later. I mean, it's gonna be a real good match with Morocco and France later. Hopefully, I mean, I think France should win this. I'm really starting to like Olise. That was so smooth. But remember, if y'all have any questions, drop them in the chat. What you were trying to ask me? What are you trying to learn? What are you struggling with? Let me drop TX3 Discord link in the chat so you can go over there. Remember, y'all go over to TX3. Say it. That's the TX3 Discord link. Yeah, I saw that where it's five Argentina ref, but still don't matter. I mean, um, Morocco is really good. Morocco is gonna really, really, really trouble France on the break. I think Morocco is gonna sit in and just try to catch France on the break. So look out for that. I'm gonna drop my Discord link and TX3 Discord link in the chat. That's a good question. If you ever have a setup so valid, you don't care about the session. No, I don't. Honestly, don't. So for this break and retest, what I'm looking at right at US 30 right now, if a New York Asian session I got a breakout, say I got a breakout now, I mean just moving along. Even if I get a retest at Asian session, I'm getting in because once I get a break and close under, it's valid. Yeah, I'm getting in. Obviously Asian session is gonna be slower. Um, well, not since recently, not really much slower. Obviously, there's a lot of volatility in the market as we have seen. So it could have, could have dropped 500 pips during the Asian session. I see where it dropped 1,000 pips. One candle dropped 1,000 pips. I think it was when like almost 800 pips during London session the other day. So yeah, I'm getting it. Once I get a breakout here, I'm getting it. I don't care the session. I remember go join TXT Discord. They have 50,500 and like 50,500 plus in your Discord. Um, Go in there. I mean, get yourself a challenge. Come over to my Discord and let me help you pass it for free. No charge. But I'm taking the last set of questions. What question do you guys have? I'm gonna be off. And on your strategy, put your alerts, put alerts underneath the last low at about 52.22 too, so you can know where price is at. Remember, you're waiting for the breakout. So you don't have to sit and look at the charts all day. Just keep your alert. I mean, obviously you have your phone with you all day, so yeah, but just keep the alert going so you know where price is at. Oh, that's 100. Fall nicely. That was a nice trade. See what Press did? Had this level here so long ago. Press came right up to that weekly and supply demand zone. And well, that's did almost 300 pips, 290 plus pips. So yeah, all if you took the trade right here, you know what I mean, a small stop loss. We don't use more 80 pip stop loss. You got a 1 to 3.6, so 3.5. So you risk one to get 3.5. So that's a good trade. The only reason why I didn't take this trade, obviously, that's 110 to since recently by a lot. While there's the Strait of Hormuz is getting harassed and bombs going off. I'm not sure what's going on with that. So come, give me what questions y'all do have. If y'all don't have any questions, I'm gonna head out now. Let me know what question y'all have. I remember I put TX3 Discord in the chat, so click on it, go join the Discord. They have, so as I said, you know what I mean, they paid me over 250K. They have some of the best, you know what I mean, they have the best futures accounts right now going on. They have 30% off both on futures and CDF. So yeah, the Flex account, you know what I mean, don't have any consistency rule. The Pro account does have consistency rule. But the thing is, I like this. I rather consistency rule over price. So for example, for a 200K account from FTMO, I'm paying almost $1,300. For the same 200K account with TX3 right now, I'm only paying 690. Say 720. You know what I mean right now. With that being said, I'm saving almost $600. So I could have almost get a 400K account for the same price of a 200K account. That's not a good deal for me. I like risk to reward. So meaning if I can get a 200K for 600, $700 here, I'm not going to buy it for $1,300 there. It's not happening. Obviously, when I know TX3 pay you out and they, you know what I mean, and they're solid, like pay me out over $250,000. Never had a problem with them. I'm not gonna go nowhere, you know what I mean, get FTMO. I would only get any other account somewhere else if I'm fully funded with TX3 and I want to get more funded account, but I have to get fully funded with TX3 first before I go anywhere else, like um not jumping ship. Bro, as I say, I mean, I'm not gonna come here and trade live uh with TX3 if I didn't, you know what I mean, if TX3 is not solid. I said TX3 paid me over $250,000. I'm not working with TX3. TX3 is not paying me nothing to say this. I'm saying this, you know what I mean, I'm doing this, I say this because they have showed me nothing but love. You know what I mean? How much prop firm is gonna pay you $250,000? Not a lot of prop firms. You know what I mean? Prop firms ban me after I made $50,000. Just ban me and don't say nothing back to me. Uh, Happened over three times. Prop firms go ahead and not pay me my money, not TX3. TX3 pay me my money every single time. There was about a year ago, there was only one hiccups where I had I trade you in news and I lost like $3,000 profit out of say the $15,000 profit I was supposed to get. So I only got 12,000. It was my fault. I knew that. You know what I mean? I knew that I traded news. I was just like, all right, that's fine. If they catch it, they catch it. If they don't, they don't. But that's the only time I ever not get all my full payout because I traded your news. And I didn't put the order on, so that was totally my fault. But since then, TX3 have paid me out time and time again. Um, yeah, as I say, I don't even know if Fund Hero. I actually heard about it, but I don't really know them like that, to be honest. Like I say, one to me, I'm not gonna come here and tell you anything or tell you about a platform that is not solid. That's not that's who I am. Like they use yeah, I think you can use copy trader on their futures accounts. Not I'm not sure this CDF. You mean message in my Discord I could find out, or you could go to TXT Discord and find out and or go on their website. They have a new website too, which is I like it really good. But yeah, I want to say this again. I would never come here and tell you something to do something or recommend something that is not solid. Even if they were paying me a salary or whatever, I would not come here and you know what I mean tell you something that is not true. That's just not who I am. That's not my principle. Uh, so yeah, the same I would not tell you to come trade with me. You know what I mean? If I don't didn't feel like I could get you funded, get you payouts. Um, yeah. As as you said in the chat, you remember like a month ago when you were saying that you're in and I said I'm gonna get you a payout. You were up like 3,000 on your account the last time we talked. I'm not sure how much you're up on your account now, but yeah. But I'm gonna head off. You guys don't have any more questions, so see you again next week Thursday. Gonna finish up this boot camp. Then I'm gonna go back to just live trading. So yeah, remember to join TX3 Discord and see what they have to offer. And join my Discord if you want to learn, you know me, if you want to learn from me. And everything is free, by the way. And let me help you get funded. So until next time, peace out.